let's start with the music festival, knock that out, and then we'll do,
Yes.
yeah. Hey, all you recovering emo kids. Amanda and Rob here at the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. And today we are doing what we call a new series. This is like bite-sized EKA, Emo Kids Anonymous. It's like the size of a typical member of an emo band, short, sweet, and to the point, where we just bite-sized
Yeah.
20 minutes of like, a little bit of a topic that we wanted to
Episodic
talk about.
television almost.
Yeah, episodic television almost. So today's topic we're going to dive into is the cancellation of music festivals and just kind of talk about what the future of music festivals looks like in the next 5 years.
Before we do
So,
that, will you tell them subscribe and like and all that stuff? All the links are down there. This episode's brought to you by Protege. Enter Emo Kids at checkout, $10 for your first bottle. Enter Rob40 after that, 40% off forever. EmoKidsAnonymous.com, blah, 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 blah. Keep going.
yep, there we go. Yeah. So, uh, this was really brought on because of the recent announcement back in February of the cancellation of When We're Young for 2026. Now, Rob, I don't think you or I were very surprised by this
No,
announcement.
no.
Yeah.
They ran their gamut. Is that I don't know what the word is. Like,
They did, yeah.
they
They ran,
came, they got their bags, they gave out some bags, they blew their wad early. There's only so much you
they
can do
jumped
if
the
you're going to
shark.
cater to that fucking like
Yeah.
31 to 45-year-old range of people with like seen shit. Like, you already had Paramore and Blink and Green Day and Fall Out Boy and My Chem. Like, there's literally nobody left. Like, what are you going to do?
Exactly. And I think what's interesting about it, like the main thing is we have seen festivals take a break before, right? There have been festivals in the past that have taken a break and then come back. I know Boston Calling, which is a smaller festival, part of like a large group of festivals from C3 Productions, also When We're Young is a C3 Productions, but they're taking a break this year too to kind of, I guess, look at their base and then decide what they want to do. I saw a lot of comments about how people were mad it was moved. I don't remember what it was originally, but it was moved to Harvard Stadium, and a lot of people don't like it being there. And then they complain about the lineup, though. I mean, 2025 did have Fall Out Boy, so I wasn't complaining about the lineup.
What was it? Is C3 they're called?
Yeah, C3
Yeah,
Productions.
I
Yeah,
think the C in that one, they stand for
cash.
commercialism, capitalism, and cash. Like those, they don't stand for community. Where it's
Yeah.
like they're kind of like they pop in, they do their and it's like it's a bottom line event promotion business
Oh
kind
yeah.
of thing. Like, say what you want about fucking Kevin Lyman. Like, at least at some point at the beginning there, it was still very community or driven by the music scene or
Oh
this or
yeah.
that. Like these are like these feel like
Truly.
monopoly men popping in and being like, hey,
Ooh.
we can't make money on raves anymore. Like, let's switch over
Yeah.
to, they're tired of raving. Let's give them the bands they liked right before that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's interesting because When We Were Young came, the first instance of it was in 2022. And I remember when they first announced it, Paramore and MCR were the headliners. And at the time, no one believed it was real. And,
Everyone thought it was fake. All these
to be
kids,
fair,
like,
I know we had good
it's so
reason to.
funny.
Firefest was a thing.
The
Like,
dumbest people on my Facebook feed that believed the stupidest misinformation easily. All of a sudden, an event from the Live Nation page comes out, and that's what they see as fake news. Like,
yeah, it's
interesting
wild.
moment, but yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, there was a lot of hoopla around it. I remember there's like a couple bands that were like, "Oh, we don't even remember signing up for this or whatever." But like, I think it was like Tyson Ritter, and he'd be saying shit all the time. Like, what?
yeah. I feel like it was the bands were just trying to save face because they weren't sure at the time. Like, oh, I don't want our people thinking that we are part of some scam. But then, of course, it goes on. Now, granted, the first day was canceled because of the winds in Las Vegas, and that is
Yeah,
a
that
thing
wasn't
that
their fault. That
happens.
was God's fault. Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely God's fault. I mean, if he's going to punish anyone, it's going to be Vegas. So, I mean, it it did happen. But
Fair.
then the second day went off as a success, and then they announced 2023, and it was two pop punk legends of the late 90s, early 2000s, and that was Blink and Green Day. And that's the first one I had went to. And I remember when my sister had bought the tickets, I was like, are we sure this is a real thing? Even then, I wasn't sure, especially because she did everything through the VIP package. Um, Jam Pack, which was interesting. Well, it wasn't Jam Pack at the time, but it became Jam Pack by 2024. And so we went, and it was great because that one was perfectly themed around a lot of the bands were very pop punk oriented. They even had the Tony Hawk skate park. Tony Hawk was there.
Oh
You
shit,
had
I didn't
Sum
know that.
41. Oh yeah, you had Sum 41, you had Green Day, you had Blink. I mean, it was very much what you would expect. And for a lot of us millennials who now had money, it was a great way to spend our money and indulge in these bands. And at the time, a lot
That's
of
what
these
I'm
bands
thinking
weren't
too, right? These
touring yet.
motherfuckers, like, y'all still got money out there?
Some
Like,
people do. Yeah, some
like
people do.
y'all still have money? Like y'all have been priced out like by like the grocery stores and
Not
rents and
yet. Not
like
by
cigarettes or
2023.
whatever. Like that's I was
Nope.
like I think that's why like now it's like
Yeah.
shit's getting a little tighter because like there's a sweet moment there, like especially we're all hitting a certain age. Plus, everyone just got like $600 a month, like
From
every couple
this,
of weeks
yeah,
from the government for a
from
while.
the
So people are just kind
government.
of like like
Yes.
stacking up, and then they finally get to go do shit. They're like, bro, I got like
Yep.
8,500 sitting here for no reason. Like,
Let's
like
use something with it.
yeah, yeah, people are able to get caught up, and I think things like that are affecting it as well now.
Oh, yeah, I think that's 100% true. I think the case of the economy is very much affecting what's going on with festivals, and a festival like when we're young, I mean, even those smaller festivals like Boston Calling and stuff, when, I had gotten my tickets for the ones in 2025 because I went and saw Fall Out Boy at all the ones they were at. I mean, it was like 200-300 bucks a ticket for 1 day. Then you add like if you want to do 2 days, it's like 500-600 bucks. And then of course, if you want VIP or platinum, it's gonna be obviously over $1,000 easy for 1 day.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not cheap. And so when we're young, it's the same way. And yeah, they have layaway plans because Klarna, Afterpay,
Pay
all
a
those things
thousand
exist
dollars to
now.
pee in a porta potty?
Yeah, essentially. Well, no,
Fuck.
no, no, no.
They
If
had
you were doing
fancier
that,
bathrooms?
yes, yes, yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
like how fancy are we
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
are they still mobile bathrooms?
Nope, they're, like,
Oh,
in
they're
in,
real?
like,
Okay,
buildings. Yes,
okay,
with, like,
okay,
attendants and
okay.
little accessories, like, things you could
Oh,
pick
they got
up.
the motherfucker with, like, the
And a
Mentos and the
lady
fucking
and a
sprays
lady
and the
yeah, and
yeah,
a
there it's
lady
not
who
a
hands
late
you a towel. Yeah.
it's a guy and the guy one, yeah, it's
Oh,
awkward,
yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'd be
that's
just
super awkward as
fucking
fuck. Yeah.
stonewalling, I'm
You're like,
sorry,
"I don't wanna
bro.
talk to you." Yeah, but then, like, in 2023, we still didn't have all these bands touring either, and then 2024 hit, and that was when We're Young went insane. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna do a album play theme. Beautiful. That's what a cool concept." And now all these bands are starting to come back. All these 2000s third wave emo bands, pop punk bands are coming back. They're starting to put new music out. They're starting to do their like mini tours in small venues. Let's get them all together. And at this point, by that point, MCR had already done it once with them and did their own tours, right?
Yeah.
And then Fall Out Boy had just come back. They had just put out a new album in 2023. They had already done a tour and were starting a next leg of a tour. So they had their headliners, Fall Out Boy and MCR. Then they had every band that you would have seen in a 2000s emo pop punk
Every band
playlist
that
on
has
Spotify.
albums that are between 27 and 47 minutes long are all gonna play it in 30 minutes somehow, like
Yep. Unless you're popular, then you got a little bit more time or a headliner. That's it. And so they did that. And it was amazing, except it was hard to see everyone. But then they kind of ran their course with it. And then we all waited and be like, what was next? And then 2025 was announced and it was a little bit lackluster. Yeah, the Panic at the Disco announced it was cool, but Blink was the other co-headliner. We'd already seen them in 2023. They had toured
they'd
out
already
the
been back
ass.
for, like, 3 years, like, by
Yeah.
4 years, like, by that point, like, yeah, Blink is
Mhm.
very good in, like, bursts like that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Master McRibbers.
Master McRivers. And then you start to see, the attendance rate for that one was not as high as the other ones. They weren't selling out like the other years were, like, on day 2. So, after that, I remember thinking, I was like, "I don't know what they can do at this point," because now all these bands that were here too are all now touring. Not Panic, but
Yeah,
everyone else was touring at the time.
yeah.
They weren't necessarily the newest band I remember being there, like, in 2023, Magnolia Park, 2024
Would've
or
been, like,
20
arm's length?
yeah, Arms Length to
It was, like, arm's
2025,
length,
yeah.
pretty much, right? And they still played at, like, 2 p.m., right?
Yeah, they still play at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I
So,
think they
other
could've
than
done a
that
better job. They should have thought ahead and done a better job of, like, I like, building up the future, you know what I mean? They should have we've
yes.
talked about it ad nauseum, like, where it's like, like, slip in a couple more of those and give them higher spots and start giving them that so then you have a next wave. I think what they're probably gonna do is, It's gonna be every other year, and it's gonna alternate with Sick New World
That makes sense. Yeah, because
because they
Sick New
canceled
World's
Sick
coming
New World
back this
last year,
year.
but it's back
Mhm.
this year. Watch When We're Young will be back the year after, then, like, that seems
Sick
to
New
be
World
the
too,
most
yeah.
logical, like, also, I mean, the Warped Tour came back as well, and I think that kinda crosses over, and
Yes.
it's like people only have so much expendable income and
Now they do,
time, and,
yeah.
and it's like, okay, like, this one's more affordable. It's basically the
Yes.
same thing minus the other top people, but a lot of these people that are going to these things are already if they really wanna see one of those headliners, they're already plunking down the money to go to the fucking MCR tour or whatever, you know?
Yes. And that's the problem. Then all these bands, I think by 2024 realized, "Oh, there's real legs in this resurgence. I can make my own money. I don't need to rely on a festival
Yeah,
like When We're Young."
you don't need to do this festival. You
No.
realize there's enough of a
Mm-mm.
thing, like, and
So now they're all coming out with the new music. They've been all touring. We've seen it. We see all the tour
yeah,
announcements the
yeah,
last
yeah.
year and a half. So
Yeah, they don't have to do the one-off things, there's only so many bands left where, like, that festival appearance is a surprise and it's cool, you know?
exactly. And that's why, like, when Vans Warped Tour came back last year, they for all of the nostalgia bands they did have, like, the staples of, like, a Motion City soundtrack,
Yeah,
a Hawthorne Heights, they still did bring
they did,
newer
yeah, a
people to the
semi
table.
some yeah, I don't think they did as good a job as they could have
No.
or used to, but, like, they at least stayed semi
Yes.
true to it, you know?
Yeah, which is not what When We're Young was about, which,
No.
I mean, I wouldn't expect them to be that. The When We're Young, it's in the title. It's not about new
Yeah,
bands, it's about nostalgia.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, that has a
yeah.
time and place, and I think the time and place is gonna grow thinner,
Oh, yeah. I
you
think
know?
so too.
There was a weird moment there
Yeah.
where it was, really a thing, but I think yeah, I think did you see the thing with, Waterparks?
The thing with you mean with, like, the backlash of them playing at
Yeah,
Warped Tour? I did see that,
yeah.
which is interesting.
So, yeah, they'd be talking a lot of shit before, saying they wouldn't play it and this and
Yep.
that, and then they got booked, and they're basically like, "Well, there's, already impressionable people going into these spaces. It's important, there's this or that there," and it's like, I don't know, bud. Tough spot all around.
Yeah. I remember
Tough
the first time
spot.
I saw Waterparks was at When We're Young in 2023,
Oh, I saw
and
them
they
at
would have
Warped,
been
and they were rough.
were they rough back then?
Oh, they fucking yeah, they were not
Ugh.
great live.
Oh, they were good in 2023, but that's been that they had, some years to
Yeah,
practice and get better,
yeah.
I guess, or maybe at that point I was just tired because it was towards the end of the
You're like,
night.
"Yeah, I don't know. I've
I
been
don't
drinking
know.
$14 drinks in the sun all day, like, I'm vibing."
I know, yeah, yeah. But it's gonna be interesting to see as time moves on and the state of the economy and with all these bands now realizing they can make more money by touring themselves, how many of these smaller festivals are going to
Also
continue.
I feel like the original, like, magic of a festival, like, when I was, like, I remember, like, going through, like, the old, like, Spin Magazine and seeing, like, Coachella lineups, like, a lot of the
Yes.
appeal is, like, you're gonna get to see a lot of stuff that's new to you or something like that, and check out things like that, where as opposed to just like, "Oh, this is like a big dream day." It's just Disney.
Yes.
It's just Disney adult really is what they're Disney adulting you here with fucking
Well, they were.
what's
They
the new you're
were.
getting fast passed here and shit like
Yeah,
that, like,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
that's very much what it is. Like, and I feel like there's a lot of like on our feed all the time. Like, there's so many cool festivals, not just in like the Midwest or East Coast, like out here, like smaller ones like that pop up and
Yes.
stuff. And it's like you can spend 40 to $100 or 140, whatever, going to one of those, and like you can only have so good of a time.
Oh, yeah, you can
Like,
only
there's a
enjoy it
limit
so
on
much.
fun when
Yeah.
it comes to standing outside and watching music, like, you can f and
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's gonna start I mean, it is starting to pick up, and, I don't think Warped Tour or a lot of these festivals have the same cachet or, like, brand
No.
loyalty with younger generations at all. Like,
No. I
even,
mean, only
like
influencers to just see what
y
it's like. That's what's
yeah, but
there.
that's people just fucking trying to get free trips and shit too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Lollapalooza lineup dropped, and I was like, "This is not great, Lola, not great," but,
Yeah, I know.
it's just, someone should come along and one should do, like, a yearly festival with a lot of cool bands like the ones that are on this show,
I think so
and
too.
someone should also do, like, a small yearly US tour with the bands you know, a lot of the bands from this show. That would be cool, right?
That would be cool as all get out. It would be cool as
That
fuck.
would be really cool. That would be
That would be cool.
nice.
Wouldn't that be nice? And showcase some of these newer bands instead of all these older bands that
It's just and it's like we
just
can
already
still
getting all the money.
we're the thing, and like the older bands are still gonna come to your town. Like I'm not saying you
They
can't
will.
like the older bands, but like 90% of these older bands are still gonna come through your town. Like, and
Yeah.
maybe that's also it's tougher for me to say that because I live in LA, so they are gonna come to my town. Maybe they're not
Yeah.
gonna come to your town, maybe, but like
No, half a dozen,
so
give or take.
I get that, but like a lot of people they're still gonna be within a couple hours, maybe like
Well, the thing is, there's more of a shot of those bigger bands coming here than there are the smaller bands we're talking about, the bands that are on
yeah,
our show
yeah,
getting close to me.
yeah.
I'll be honest, like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is
It's a
like a
random
couple
spot to
hours.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's logistic wise, it's difficult, but,
yeah,
like, I don't, like I think there's a nice opening not I wouldn't say opening, but, like, it's been democratized where, like, there's a lot of
yes,
festivals, and there's some of them that feel there's festivals that will do well and feel more like the Callings, where it's like, those are gonna do well, they're solid, like an Innings
yes.
Fest, you know, like, those are they are
Well,
what
because
they
it's
are.
tied to the baseball
Yeah,
season,
yeah,
so there's like
but,
a
like
thing that goes with it, right? Yeah.
yeah, like, they're not relevant. You know, like
No,
you know, it's not like people are like, "What happened at this festival last?" It's a
no
cool
one
opportunity to see
cares.
all the
Yeah,
bands you like, you know, like it's a fun fucking time, but it's not like, "Oh, what happened at like, oh, this," you know, back in the day, it's like, "Oh, so and so showed up, like Paramore showed up at the Warped Tour," or like, you know,
yeah,
like, "Oh,
exactly.
who came out at Coachella," or whatever, you know, like you're seeing
And
like
that's the big thing. Yeah.
yeah, you're seeing like Glastonbury highlights and stuff like that. Like they're
Yes.
not those ones aren't relevant, but like they're doing a nice job of flooding the market and providing that option. But I think they're also maybe too much of them is like a fatigue thing, maybe. 'Cause
I think too
There's a
much.
lot.
Well, there's a lot of those, and I think, and while it gives people in all the different markets a chance to go to a festival, because not everyone can attend a
Yeah.
Coachella or Bonnaroo, you know, not everyone can do that Lollapalooza because of where they're located, and it takes travel time, and it's not cheap to go to those big music festivals anyways. And those festivals too are gonna try to cater to what's, like, massively popular in the
Mm.
United States, right? What's on the top 40 hits currently on Spotify? Because does anyone even pay attention to the billboards? I don't know. But that's what those bands are going, or those festivals are gonna cater to. But the callings, they can pull from older bands that
Yeah.
are always a good staple crowd, bring a good crowd in all the time, which is terrible to think that the bands that we listen to are now the staple old
Yeah.
bands that you can
Yeah.
always rely on,
It's like bringing in
but
they're
it
bringing
is.
in Steely Dan or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing OAR, they he's gonna do Shatter, turn the car around twice,
Does
4 Non
OAR bring a
Blondes.
crowd?
They do, you should
No
see the OA.
way.
I've seen them, well, I didn't see them play at Ocean's Calling in Maryland, but I
OAR
did
is some
at
fucking
Yacht Club, I did, and they brought a
Some
cra
Friday at the racetrack shit, like the four
oh my
o'clock Friday
god.
park concert series
They
outside the
were their
downtown by
fans
the
are
brewery.
insane. Yeah. It was
Damn,
like,
OAR got
yeah,
shooters.
they got shooters. I was like, I didn't know people knew OER songs other than, like, the 2
I
I
don't think
know.
I know them. The Turn the Car On, that's
Yeah.
them?
That's
It's like The
yeah.
Fray?
Nope, that's not The Fray. That's How to
No,
Save a
but
Life, which
it's like The Fray kind of? Like, it's that kind of,
no,
like, softer
that
ro
song
no?
is, but all their other stuff, they have, like, steel drums, and I'm like, "This is not the
Oh, I
same band
fucking
that
hate
wrote
that.
Shatter, Turn the Car Around. What's happening? I don't
I don't think I
understand."
fuck with OAR. I keep wanting to say different letters even. I keep wanting to say AOR or AAR maybe, AARP.
Nah,
Like, there's a lot
after
of
I
things
yeah,
that
there's a lot of yeah.
or what does the OAR even stand for?
Something revolution.
I fucking yeah.
Oratory, oh god, I know, it's something about a revolution, that's what it is.
Oratory with their
I
mouths?
yeah, I think that's what
What are
it
they,
stands
Nancy
for.
Reagan?
They might be Nancy Reagan. Hold on, let me
Sucking
just
their way through
double
town?
I don't like that it gives me something else that's not OAR. Why
What, it
won't
gives
you
you an
tell me what
oar, like a
OAR
thing for a
stands
boat? Of course it does.
Of a revolution. See, I had it, revolution, of resol
Of a
that's even
revolution?
even more
Those
basic.
are the
I
2 of
adore
the initials are of and
yes.
I don't think I fucking like this band at all, Amanda.
Oh,
Oh,
you'll
that's
get it. Yeah, you'll be fine. It's
oh, I don't
good.
know. Okay,
But
interesting.
anyways,
What's your
interesting.
favorite? What's your what would you like to see the festivals do going forward? What is a way they could be relevant or could be more friendly to thine fans?
I think, well, cost effectiveness is gonna be key, but I understand that that might be a little bit hard to do.
Yeah,
If
we're
the
not getting that
prices
ever
can't be
again.
cost effective in terms of going down in price, I think they need to start making the amenities and things like that inside the festivals a little bit more appealing. And I say that with, selections of drinks and food. I mean, obviously, if you're in a platinum section, the selection is way better than what you can get in just a general, GA when you're just walking around, right? The platinum has it's served to you like in like a buffet, and it's catered, and it's beautiful, and it's great, and that's wonderful. But still, I think some of the selections, and I think just the way they handle like crowd control and things like that could probably be fixed to make it a little bit more of an enjoyable time for a lot of folks. And just like the general setups of how they go about setting up the stages. I've seen some places that the setups are just kind of not ideal. It's hard to
Yeah,
get to like, not that you want to make it easy to get to stages, but Innings Fest is a great example. You have one you have one stage, it's so far away, it would take you a good 20, 30 minutes to walk from 20 minutes to walk from that's to the nearest to the main stage, which there's all this stuff in between. When you're in like a when we're young, you can like stand there and everything's kind of
yeah.
there. You can kind of get the layout of the land, but just because the way it's set up, all the like there's this one that's it was a very hard decision on how long to stay at Boys to Men that night when that happened. When I saw the Innings Fest, I was like, "Okay,
They
I
had
wanna
them
go see
on
the
the faraway
Killers."
stage?
Yeah,
That's
they
bullshit.
did,
Boys
and
to
I
Men
wanted
should
to
have been
see
closing that shit out.
no, with the Killers who closed that night out.
Okay, Boys to Men should be underneath the Killers.
Yeah, yeah,
Sub-headlining.
no, I don't remember who was before the Killers, but it was not a band I was like, I don't wanna see that band." But, yeah, I think that a lot of it's just gonna have to do with and then, of course, the lineup itself, I think they just need to be a little bit more, uh I guess a little bit more decisive in the line. I know that it's not always in their control about who's available and whatnot, but I think when they're
Yeah.
coming up with the lineups, they gotta and then who they're putting on stages. This is a big thing because when I've, you know, when you see like bands like a Fall Out Boy or an MCR, like there's gonna be people who are gonna camp out of those stages all day. And
Mhm.
you kind of hope that they'll try to maybe let bands of a similar, demographic stay within like one area or you know, one one stage in order
You
to
wanna segregate the stages.
yes, I'll say the stages. I don't think I needed to, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
You know
I
how hard it
understand.
was to want to go see Motion City Soundtrack who was at another stage while I was waiting for Fall Out Boy? It was
Right,
not
and then you're
easy.
stuck there watching Of a Revolution, just like the shit
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yep. Well, I did get to see Silver Sun Pickup, so that was pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, they were on that stage
I
too.
forgot about I heard them when I
And
was watching the
Weezer.
OC the other day, that shit rips.
Oh god, it does, yeah. Everything about
Weezer
the OC
rips.
is.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
great show. Before we wrap
Weezer's
this up,
also
let me
touring
ask,
this year.
if you could have been at any festival ever, what would it have been?
Oh, I already know the answer to that one because I never got to go to it, and that's 2005 Warped Tour. I would have gone to
Oh,
that in a heartbeat to see Fall
oh,
Out Boy and MCR before shit hit the fan, before they got massively huge or seeing, like, knowing that they were even massively huge. That's easy for me. That's what I
interesting.
want.
I'm picking
Yeah,
yeah, I
or
was gonna
maybe
pick
99
I was picking
Woodstock from
Woodstock. Yeah, I
afar.
was picking Woodstock. Yeah, no, I wanna go swim in the shit and fucking
No,
riot, and
I don't want to do why? Don't
I'm
you
a
wanna watch from
fucking
afar, like, in, like, a police tower? Like, "Oh, shit,
no, I
hit the
don't fuck with
fan."
the cops. No, I wanna be standing on one of those, like, plywood
With the
boards they had
kids.
with the dudes on it, like, nah, I wanna fucking go down in the fucking riot. Yeah, that's my
Yes.
pick.
Okay, that's a good
Alright.
pick, that's a good pick.
Well, thank you all for
Festivals.
joining us in this short festival little, uh, bite-sized clip that's still as long as an episode of TV.
Yep, there we go.